So artwork, which is often abstract and interpretive, just needs that one more step to be able to directly connect it, evidence of content learning.
To figure out what we can do to create tangible evidence that incorporates the arts and communicates to students, maybe it communicates to their families, but we have something that we can share, right? And it doesn't have to be paper. It could be an app like Explain Everything. In the last group, they had such great ideas about how to take dictation from children and capture that. But let's say, just for the heck of it, that we decide to work with some photographs. Now, when you make this tableau, I have no idea what you're really thinking. Or if Bethany just told me, just bend your knee and reach out. Oh, okay. I'm just doing what she told me to do because I'm compromising. So I have no idea if the thought in my head about Duke Kahanamoko is translating into something that I'm showing with my body. No idea, right? So we want to make that thinking visible, and we want kids to solidify it. It's part of their thinking process and their understanding. But we also, that's our assessment. What are you thinking about it? So let's pretend for now that we use the C3 social studies standards to, this was our target for this lesson. It was within this grade band, it's like actually 6 through 8. It doesn't, I'm still getting used to this thing right here. But the framework doesn't say, oh, you're doing Hawaiian history this year, and then you're going to do world history this year, but it gives you more broad sort of things to work with. So the goal of this particular lesson, the one that you did this morning with Duke, was to use questions generated about individuals and groups to analyze. I'm going to just do this because I can. Okay, use questions. So maybe we're going to do questioning generated about individuals and groups. And our individual, of course, the guy that we're talking about is Duke. And to analyze why they and the developments they shaped are seen as historically significant. So I will give you a picture that you create of your tableau. And I would like you to convert this starting place into a piece of evidence that a student might use to show that they've met this benchmark or this standard. Right? So you're going to imagine that the student is using this along with some kind of writing, maybe labeling, maybe a title, maybe a caption, maybe a diagram, I don't know. But they're going to use this evidence to show that they have met this standard. All right? And this time I'll have you work in slightly smaller groups, or we'll have our group of 3 and 3 over here. You can mix it up if you like to. And we'll have a group of 2 and 2 over here. And go ahead and write directly on this page to convert it into evidence. Assessment. Say, for example, down one column, you decide to do a newspaper article from the time period, whenever that was. So maybe this serves as, oh, this is a picture from a newspaper. And your job is to write the newspaper article analyzing the historical significance of the moment depicted in the tableau. Or maybe you decide something totally else. You're going to turn it into a comic, and you've actually got 3 pictures in a row, and you just add the thought bubbles or the speech bubbles to what people are thinking and saying in order to show the historical significance of the moment. And so I just wanted to kind of throw it out there that a tableau on its own, all by itself, 1 second life of a tableau may not be enough to help you show evidence of content understanding. But if you capture that moment, print it off. It took me like literally 15 seconds with the help of my good friend. You can print it off, and then you can do something with it, and you can turn it into an assessment piece that actually demonstrates some kind of understanding. In math, you can use it to become the story, a problem that they exchange with. So on one half, let's say they take a picture of a story problem. And then on one column, they write out the story problem, and on the other column, they exchange it with another group, and they have to solve the story problem. So the Tableau can become an assessment product to help you develop understanding. But by itself, in the moment where it is, sometimes it's not the best assessment for understanding. Does that make sense? And just keep in mind, like, all of the things that you could do with this photograph. I love it when people cut out and put it into their science notebook and then use it. This is my model of nuclear energy, and label the parts, and now I'm meeting NGSS.
Thank you. Now I figure the slide.
Solved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And with English language arts, the thought bubbles and speech bubbles are really great for character motivation. How did the character change from the beginning of the novel to the end of the novel? So you have a variety of ways that you can use your Tableau now to become a part of your assessment. You could also send it home and create a little box there for parent comment. And they could write something. Now parents are starting to understand, oh, this is what arts integration looks like. And you're sharing that process part of your classroom with the greater outdoors, with the greater world. And if they write a little comment there, then it comes back to your classroom, stick it in a portfolio that you use for assessment, for the larger assessment of the student. So I wanted to share just some ideas for how you can use a Tableau in assessment, but also assessment of Tableau, and always reminding ourselves of the process. That's very important, because this school was founded on the idea that humans are more than just a bunch of content knowledge, that we are a collection of thoughts and feelings and interactions as well.